Alright, this is my War and Peace book review. Okay, War and Peace is like this totally just like killer book, man. That like, I mean, you think you've read books, but then you read this book and you're like, no, man. So anyway, War and Peace is about like 3 of these dudes who like, I think they live in Russia, and they have a whole lot of stuff going on. One of them's like this really whiny, stupid bitch type character who is like rich and shit. And then, you know, he's cool, but the other one is like this guy, his name like Pierre Bazooka, and he just always is like fucking shit up, like, not like, you know, not like he's breaking shit, but he does break a lot of shit. And so his character is sort of like this character, I guess, which everyone is supposed to identify with. And so I identified with the guy who breaks stuff, which made the book easier for me to read because I could just think about breaking stuff. So, and then there's the third character named Natasha, who's like this smoking hot fox lady who's always like, you know, she's not like a prude, but she's not like a slut. She's like somewhere in between. You know, you're always sort of ambiguous as to what's going on. You know, she's also like 15 or something. Anyway, then like, you know, you think some stuff happens and Napoleon attacks, and there's like 200 pages where they hunt a dog in the woods. There's like 100 pages where they talk about like folks dancing and stuff. Anyway, it's pretty sweet. There's also these other characters, like there's this guy named Boris, who's a total douchebag, and there's this guy named Dolokhov, who's a total douchebag. There's this guy named Helene, who's a total douchebag, and yeah, that's about it. Okay, so you know I'm used to reviewing video games, so I'm just going to go through my checklist for video game stuff. Okay, graphics. You know, the words are printed really nicely. You can read them very easily. And there's a sweet cover of some sort of man on a horse. He has a little telescope in his hand. It's pretty good, so I'll give it a 9.0. Presentation. It's in a book, so 10, I guess. Replayability. It's pretty long book. Like it's like really long. So I mean, you could replay it if you want. But you know, it's going to be exactly the same because it's a book. So I guess I'll give that a 10. And multiplayer, you could, I guess, like you could take turns, like you and a buddy. If you have a bunch of buddies over and you're drinking, like one of you, 3 of you could be drinking, and then one of you could be reading, and then you could pass the book around, and like, you know, it'd sort of be like you could have multiplayer. So I'll give that a 10. Yeah, I guess that's it. So we have a bunch of 10s. And grammar, I guess people like to talk about grammar with books. I'm not a teacher, so I guess I'll give that a 10 as well. It's written in English. Sometimes people will talk in French. I don't read French, so I can't criticize that grammar. But yeah, I'm going to read you just a quick passage from this book. 1,000 times during that month and a half, while he felt himself drawn nearer and nearer to that dreadful abyss, Pierre said to himself, "What am I doing? I need resolution. Can it be that I have none?" So yeah, that's like what you can expect. So 10 out of 10. Well, 99 out of 10. No one's perfect, so I'm not going to give it a perfect score. But I recommend you read this book if you're not a pussy.